can use the outside lane here afterwards to do a cool down, which you should take advantage of. Alright, you gotta get rid of the line of gas, you just gas again. Alright, so take advantage of that. Do not use the one right next to the computer because you get the computer back. Okay? Also, make sure you're ready to gas here. Alright, the exciting stuff. Alright, there is, we're sticking the miles per gallon, so we're sticking in the opposite. Alright? So, the idea here is, we're talking about race strategy in a couple of days. Alright? Apply the race strategy. We're going to be amped up to race meet. We're doing about 17 people total, top of the swimmers. Alright? That's nice and fun. If you feel like you didn't get a chance to start some turns, let's take advantage. I didn't realize we were. You can be on the block.
All right. For those of you joining us, welcome to the January 8th, 2025 Conard versus Middletown swim meet. My name is Lorenzo Genovese. I'm going to be your commentator. I'm from West Hartford Community Interactive. We are a nonprofit media organization right in town. We live stream all of the fall, winter, and spring sports. Moving into the heart of the winter sports season. Excited to be back for boys swimming. I'm told this is not the first meet of the season, but it is the first of 2025. Happy New Year to all of our listeners as we wait for this exciting meet to begin. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. The meet should be underway in about a minute. In the interim, I will give you a rundown of the 12 events happening at today's meet. Oh, we've got a cheer going on over there. So today, there are going to be 12 events. We're going to be starting off with the 200-yard medley relay. Here is our wonderful Steadicam, courtesy of David O'Connor. All right. As I said before, we are going to be starting with the 200-yard medley relay. One heat, lanes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8, respectively represented by Middletown, Conard, Middletown, Conard, Middletown, Middletown. Our swimmers are getting ready. And we're off with the first event of the January 8th meet. Up to a strong start. Lanes 4 and 5 with an early lead. Of course, it's much too early to call. Anything can happen, and there are going to be different athletes in this event that can change the course of the leaderboard dramatically. This is going to be an incredibly interesting meet. These Conard athletes put everything they have into swimming, excuse me, into their craft. As a Middletown resident, I can also attest that these Middletown High athletes work equally as hard, so the competition is going to be extremely fierce today. And we've got our final group of swimmers entering the relay. Got a lead from lane 5. That is Conard. And it's looking like we are going to get a first place finish from Conard, lane 5, with a time of 1:49.34. Lane 4 finishing in a very close second, 1:53.27. That was a Middletown represented group. Third place going to Conard, 2:04.42. And fourth going to Middletown, lane 6, 2:10.41. Incredible opening showing from all of these athletes. And we are going to be moving on to the 200-yard freestyle. One heat. We've got 7 swimmers. In lane 2, from Middletown, Jason Rombia. In lane 3 from Conard, Connor Faga. Cole Strickland of Middletown in lane 4. Luke Scheinfeld of Conard in lane 5. Aiden LeMay of Middletown in lane 6. Ethan Hunt of Conard in lane 7. And Adam Heppenstall of Middletown in lane 8. A lot of familiar last names, both from Conard and Middletown High. So it's exciting to see the family of so many that I know competing. Lane 5 leading us off. That is Luke Scheinfeld of Conard. This is a tight freestyle. My view is slightly obstructed, but it's looking like lanes 4 and 5 are almost neck and neck as we finish this. Lane 5 is going to take it with a time of 1:50.49. That is Luke Scheinfeld only beating lane 4. Cole Strickland of Middletown High by about 2 seconds. Cole finished with a time of 1:52.35. Lane 3 finishing third, 1:59.24. That is Connor Faga of Conard. And we now have the 200-yard individual medley. So these athletes are going to have to do 8 laps back and forth. A medley of different styles on their own. An incredibly difficult race. We've got Gabriel Judd of Middletown High in lane 2. Matthew Kroll of Conard in lane 3. Charles Lenahan of Middletown in lane 4. Andrew Fan of Conard in lane 5. Adler Greenwald of Middletown in lane 6. Johan Robson of Conard in lane 7. And Christian Gray of Middletown in lane 8. As I was saying before, folks, these individual medleys are difficult. These swimmers are having to compete on their own. They're also going to be working various body parts in the different styles they're going to have to pull out for this event. That could be an advantage. They get to relieve some body parts while they're working others, but at the same time, they are using up stamina. So as the race continues, they are only going to get more winded. But if I know these athletes, that wind almost gives them a second wind. No pun intended. And it can be, at times, a great motivator to pick up the pace and put in that much more work. And once again, it's looking like we are going to get a lane 5 first place victory. And we do, with a time of 2:12.88. Congratulations to Andrew Fan of Conard. Lane 3 taking second with a time of 2:16.17. That is that is Matthew Kroll of Conard. Charles Lenahan of lane 4 taking third. Middletown High with a time of 2:22.54. Once again, incredible times for a 8-lap relay that these swimmers are having to compete by themselves. And we are going to be moving on to our first 2-heat event, the 50-yard freestyle. This is going to be our final swimming event before we start diving. And then after diving, there are going to be 7 other swimming events. For the first heat of the 50-yard freestyle, we've got Conard's James DeLibero in lane 1. We've got Middletown's Joshua Theshampalith. Lane 3, we've got Colby Daniak of Conard. Ryan Go of Middletown in lane 4. Conard's Nathan Lowney in lane 5. Cody Purcell of Middletown in lane 6. Zachary Gosley of Conard in lane 7. And Cameron Coco of Middletown in lane 8. And just like that, the race is over. Lane 5, that is Nathan Lowney of Conard taking first place with a time of 24:26. Second going to lane 4 with a time of 25:60. That is Ryan Go of Middletown. Lane 3 taking third, 26:03. That is Colby Daniak of Conard. And we do have a second heat with 4 competitors, all from Middletown High. Ethan Contreras in lane 3. Tomas Rogowski in lane 4. Zymer Walton in lane 5. And J.D.L. Torres of lane 6. So it is going to be 4 teammates all competing against each other. And I believe they call that a false start. And we are officially off. These 50-yard freestyles are incredibly fast-paced. This is a pure sprint. And lane 5, Zymer Walton, currently in first place. Ethan Contreras is catching up. Will it be enough? It will not. Zymer Walton, 32.93, finishing in first. Lane 5, Ethan Contreras finishing just behind him with 33.81 in lane 2. And now we are going to be moving on to diving. While we wait for the dividers to be removed, the flags to be taken down, and the judges to get into position, we are going to be watching 5 divers today. 2 from Conard, 3 from Middletown High. We've got James Osciello of Conard, Luis Villalobos of Middletown, Michael Burns of Conard, Nathan Ivins of Middletown, and Aiden Roy of Middletown. And we're setting up. is getting. Well, yeah. And our divers are starting to practice. It's a diver from Conard. And here's someone from Middletown High. Luis, 4.5, 4.5, 5.5. Middletown. Five, bingo. Mike, Conard. Five and a half, 4.5, 5. Eight, 7, 7. James Conard. Six and a half, 5.5, 6. Nate, Middletown High. Two, 2.5, 3. Lewis. Four, 4.5, 5. Mike, Conard. Five and a half, 5, 7. Aiden, Middletown. 7, 7.5, 7. James Conard. Seven, 7, 6. Nate Middletown. Five and a half, 4.5, 5.5. Luis Middletown. Five, 4.5, 5. Mike Conard. Six, 6, 5.5. Aiden Middletown. Four and a half, 5, 3.5. James Conard. Four and a half, 4, 3.5. Nate Middletown. Five, bingo. Luis Middletown. 4.5, 5, 5. Mike Conard. Five, 5.5, 5. Aiden, Middletown. Seven and a half, 7, 6. James Conard. Seven, 5.5, 6. Nate, Middletown. Four and a half, 4, 3.5. Luis, Middletown. Five and a half, bingo. Mike Conard. Five, 5.5. Aiden, Middletown. Seven, 6, 7. James Conard. Four and a half, 5.5, 5. Nate Middletown. Four and a half, 3.5, 4.5. Luis Middletown. Three, bingo. Mike Conard. Four and a half, bingo. Aiden Middletown. Five, 6, 5.5. James Conard. Five, 5.5, 4. Nate Middletown. And that wraps up diving. We'll have about 10 to 15 minutes before swimming resumes, but the events we will be having when we get back are the 100-yard butterfly, the 100-yard freestyle, the 500-yard freestyle, 200-yard freestyle relay, 100-yard backstroke, 100-yard breaststroke, and the 400-yard freestyle relay. In that order, all one heat, save for the 100-yard freestyle. And we are back with more swimming. The sixth event, the 100-yard butterfly. And the swimmers for this event are Antonio Padavina of Middletown in lane 2, Colby Daniak of Conard in lane 3, Gabriel Judd of Middletown in lane 4, Andrew Fan of Conard in lane 5, Devin Morris of Middletown in lane 6, and Cameron Coco of Middletown in lane 8. And we are halfway through this race, which is very, very heavy on upper body strength. And lane 5, that is Andrew Fan leading off, looking for his second individual first place victory. Is he going to get it? Yes, he will. Finishing in first place with a time of 57.81. Second place is going to go to lane 3 with a time of 1:03.80. That is Colby Daniak. And lane 4 taking third, 1:07.93. That is Gabriel Judd. And we are moving on to the 100-yard freestyle, of which there are 2 heats. The first heat is going to have 7 swimmers. Jason Rambia of Middletown in lane 2. Ethan Hunt of Conard in lane 3. Adler Greenwald of Middletown in lane 4. Nathan Lowney of Conard in lane 5. Cody Purcell of Middletown in lane 6. Matthew Robinson of Conard in lane 7. And Evan Gabriel of Middletown in lane 8. Again, this is one of 2 heats. 100-yard freestyle. And we are off. 4 laps in this race. Everybody's starting out with incredible speed right off the bat. Lanes 3, 4, and 5 in an early lead. It's looking like Lane 5's Nathan Lowney is leading off as we head into the second half of this race. It is very tight between Nathan and Ethan Hunt of Lane 3. Adler Greenwald of Middletown, Lane 4, not too far behind. And it is a race to the finish between Ethan Hunt and Nathan Lowney. It's looking like Nathan Lowney is going to cinch first place, and he does with a time of 53:28. Ethan Hunt coming in a very close second, 55:37, and Adler Greenwald finishing with 57:46 in third place. And in our second heat, we have 4 competitors, all from Middletown High. It is almost the exact 4 that competed in the second heat of the 50-yard freestyle earlier in the event. We've got Tomas Rogowski of Middletown in lane 3, David Lee of Middletown in lane 4, Zymer Walton in lane 5, and JDL Torres in lane 6. Again, it is always interesting when your teammates are your only competition in these events. Although, this is what they do during their swim practices. They compete against each other. Zymer Walton of lane 5 is in first place right now. He was victorious in the 50-yard freestyle earlier in the event. He did place first in his heat of 4. And he has quite a commanding lead in this event. 1 lap to go for our competitors. And Zymer Walton is going to claim first place with a time of 1:22.77. Lane 3 finishing in second with a time of 1:26.72. That is Tomas Rogowski. Very impressive showing from all of our competitors. And now we have got the monstrous 500-yard freestyle. Perhaps the most trying event on the body. These competitors are going to have to swim 20 laps back and forth, and this is not a relay, which means they're doing it all by themselves. Competing in this event, in lane 2 from Middletown are Adam Heppenstall, Connor Faga in lane 3 of Conard, Middletown's Cole Strickland in lane 4, Conard's Luke Scheinfeld in lane 5, Joshua Vazampalath in lane 6 of Middletown, Jack Rich of Conard in lane 7, and Ethan Contreras of Middletown in lane 8. And we've begun with an event that usually lasts the better part of 5 minutes. These swimmers are going to be going at it for 5 minutes consecutively. Even just competing in this event. I take that back. Even just wanting to compete in this event, they deserve a world of credit. We are about a fifth of the way through the race with an early tied lead between lanes 3, 4, and 5. Lane 5, that is Luke Scheinfeld, who is looking for his second first place victory in today's meet. Holds a lead as we are about a quarter of the way through the race. However, lane 4, Cole Strickland, is giving him quite a fight. And we are on lap 7 for our leaders. Lap 6 for the others that are catching up. Still pretty neck and neck going into this 9th lap between Cole Strickland and Luke Scheinfeld. It's gone back and forth between who's taken the edge in this race. Going into the 9th lap, it looked like Cole Strickland had a bit of a lead. Now Luke Scheinfeld has regained that. But, as we very well know, things can change on a whim. And they probably will a couple more times before the end of this race. We are at about the halfway point for the top 3 swimmers in this event right now. This is probably the first 500-yard freestyle that comes to memory where the first and second place standing swimmers have been so neck and neck this long. Cole Strickland and Luke Scheinfeld, going into the 16th lap, are still practically neck and neck. Normally, by lap 12 or 13, there is a standout lead. It is lap 17, and they're still going head-to-head. As a matter of fact, it is looking like Cole Strickland is pulling ahead for Middletown. There are 3 laps to go. If he can keep that slight edge up, he'll give Middletown a first-place victory in this event. It's looking like Luke Scheinfeld is giving him a bit of a run for his money. He knows there isn't much time left in this race. I have a feeling we're about to see the fastest sprint to the finish we can possible. And we've got 1 lap to go. Cole and Lucas both fighting for that first place spot. This is going to be a tight one. And first place is going to go to Cole Strickland of Middletown with a time of 5:08.12. Luke Scheinfeld had a time of 5:08.13. He was .0 1 seconds behind him. What an incredible matchup. And we do have a third place finish from lane 3 with a time of 5:23.25. That is Connor Faga of Conard. Congratulations to Middletown for getting, I believe, their first place victory, aside from the events that only had Middletown competitors. And we are going to be moving on to our 9th event, the 200-yard freestyle relay. 1 heat. Middletown will be in lane 2, Conard in lane 3, Middletown lane 4, Conard lane 5, Middletown lane 6, and Middletown lane 8. And we're off. Again, 8 laps. Each swimmer in this relay will be swimming 2. Lane 5, that is Conard, with a great start to this race. And the second group of swimmers are coming in. Lane 5 keeping the pace up as the race reaches its halfway point. The third group of swimmers are getting ready to jump in. Lane 5 absolutely crushing this race. Lane 4 with a close second. And Conard, lane 5, is going to take first place with a time of 1:39.47. Second place going to go to lane 4. That is Middletown. They've got a time of 1:51.54. And third place, which will be crowned shortly, lane 3 with a time of 1:59.87. That is Conard. And we've got the 100-yard backstroke coming up. Representing Middletown in lane 2 is Devin Morris. Charles Lenahan in lane 4 from Middletown. Matthew Kroll of Conard in lane 5. Ryan Go of Middletown in lane 6. And David Snell of Middletown in lane 8. And the backstroke is a technique where you are relying on those back and shoulder blade muscles. Matthew Kroll has an early lead, but Ryan Nago and Charles Lenahan are not too far behind him. Although Matthew Kroll is further distancing himself from the competition, and there is only one lap left. If he can keep this up, he will claim a first place victory for himself. And Matthew Kroll finishes in first with a time of 1:03.13. Ryan Nago going to finish in second. Charles Lenahan is going to finish in second with a time of 1:09.24. Ryan Nago finishing third with a time of 1:09.63. We've got 2 events left. The 100-yard breaststroke is next. 7 competitors. Lane 2, we've got Christian Gray of Middletown, Johan Robson of Conard in lane 3, Errol Pomeroy of Middletown in lane 4, Zachary Gosley of Conard in lane 5, Aiden LeMay of Middletown in lane 6, James Delibero of Conard in lane 7, and Nathan Ivins of Middletown in lane 8. Here we are with the 100-yard breaststroke. Again, an 100-yard race, only 4 laps, so it is considerably tighter than some of the other races. However, when you have to throw a technique in there, speed isn't necessarily always easy. Of course, they make it look easy. Lane 5, Zachary Gosley of Conard in first place right now. Halfway to go. And it's looking like Zachary Gossley is going to take first place. And he does with a time of 1:11.78. Second place is going to go to lane 3. That is Johan Robson of Conard with a time of 1:19.19. Lane 6 taking third with a time of 1:21.26. Aiden LeMay of Middletown. And we are getting ready for our final event of the meet, the 400-yard freestyle relay. Again, a bit of a longer race, 16 laps, but everybody is going to have their teammates to rely on. Each swimmer will have to do 4 laps on their own before the next swimmer jumps in. We've got lane 2, Middletown, lane 3, Conard, lane 4, Middletown, lane 5, Conard, lane 6, Middletown, and lane 8, Conard. Excuse me, Middletown. Strong start from lanes 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's seeming like lane 5 has a pattern of starting off this race with a commanding lead. But as we've seen, that lead does not always stay. We are nearing the quarter point of this race. Second swimmers are starting to jump in for their laps. And for lane 5, this race is halfway over. The third swimmer has jumped in. Other groups, third swimmers, are getting ready. Lane 4 and 3, namely. Lane 5 has continued to distance themselves from lanes 3 and 4, respectively second and third place. The lead is gargantuan. Lane 5 only has 4 more laps. They are 3/4 of the way through this race. But even though they have a solid first place, they're going to still want to try and get that time as low as possible. And there are only 2 laps left for lane 5. Make that one. Lane 5 is going to finish in first place with a time of 3:39.73. Very, very impressive for a 400-yard relay. Kudos to all of these swimmers in each of these groups for finishing around the 4-minute mark. Lane 2, that is Middletown, going to take second with 3:51.11. 4:05.17 for lane 3, Conard. Lane 2 and lane 8 just had their final competitors jump in. Lane 6 is about to finish this race with a time of 4:40.23. That is Middletown in lane 6. Lanes 2 and 8, Middletown, both on their final 2 laps. One more lap for both competitors. Lane 2 going to finish in 5th with a time of 5:41.90, and lane 8 going to finish in 6th with a time of 5:46.59. Incredible performance by not only these athletes in the relay, but every swimmer and diver that competed today. The January 8th, 2025 swim meet has concluded, but our coverage is not done. So don't hop off yet. The swimmers are heading back to their sections. In just a few moments, I'm sure we'll hear their team cheers after their post-meet conferences with their coaches. Great supportive cheer from Conard, congratulating Middletown on a phenomenal meet. And there's one from Middletown. Great sportsmanship between all these competitors. In a few short moments, they should be lining. Yep, here they are, lining up to shake hands and officially conclude the swim meet. again, congratulations to a phenomenal performance for both teams. Again, this is being streamed to you through West Hartford Community Interactive. We stream all of the sports for fall, winter, and spring. We've got a hockey game later tonight. We've got gymnastics being recorded. Basketball and volleyball are our other winter sports. And I believe wrestling.